Hi, my name is Phillip, and we want to welcome you to this short presentation with Children's Compassion Association International. First and foremost, we want to thank our friends Ken Dewitt and URYIB for making this presentation possible. What I'm going to do is use this scenario, my imagination if you will, to explain what we're doing. And in our imagination, you're going to be on a cruise ship, you and your friends, and you hear the splashing in the water and you look overboard and you thought it was 500 fish, but you look a little closer and it's not fish, it's children. 500 to 1,000 of them splashing in the water for their lives, and the captain stops the ship automatically. He sounds a man overboard alarm. Lifeguards jump in the water. Life-saving vessels are lowered. Children are hauled up to decks right near you and your friends, and they're gasping for water, and you're doing with the best medical knowledge. Maybe it's been 10 years since you studied CPR, but you know you have a limited amount of time to get the water out of this child's lungs so it could live. And it doesn't matter that you see that these children are from many nations. The first and foremost focus is, these are children. What can I do to save them? And how much time do I have to save them? And the reason why I said this is because I want to take you on a journey with us to the villages and the areas that we visit where these children. And while you're with us and with our team, a mother walks up to you with a 4-pound baby and in frantic says, please, take my baby and feed it because I have no food for myself, and I have no food for the infant, and I have no food for the children I already have. And you take that baby in your arms, it's the smallest human being that you've seen in your life. And in your mind resounds the words of a physician that says, you know, babies under 4 pounds, even with the modern equipment that we have here, don't normally live. So you're privileged to have a small human being to nurse in your arms. But in a house or two later, there's another woman 3 days ago that had an 8-pound baby, and she is weeping because she has no food for the infant. She has no food for the children she already has. She has no food for herself. So once again, the question that is going in your mind, how much time do I have to save this family and save this child? Because you look around you and all you see is caregivers, parents, taking rice, boiled rice, mashing it, mixing it with water, and instead of baby formula, that's all they have for these infants to live on. So there are many, many undernourished and hungry children. You walk from home to home. There's no refrigeration. There's no food on the shelves. There's no shelves in the homes. And the most that you learn that children can afford is 5 cents for a pack of noodles, or 17 cents for a can of sardines, or 88 cents for 2 pounds of rice for a meal for that day. So you reach inside of the suitcase that you brought with you and bring out 5 gallons of food, and you bring out 5-6 pack of noodles that you brought in a local store. It didn't cost you much, but it makes you feel so good that someone came up with a large pot, and you, with your cooking skills, you put all this together, and you went to the nearby market and you bought a whole 40-gallon bag of food to feed these children. And children came in for the woodwork by the hundreds. And it made you feel so good that you were able to feed undernourished children. Now the next day you do something a little bit better, and you buy a pig and you roast this huge pig, 120 pounds, and the helpers did such a great job. You got your portion, you sat and ate it, and you took a 2-hour nap, and you got up, the whole pig was gone. Everybody, hungry family from the villages came up from the area, and they got that meal from that huge pig that you brought. Now, you're on your way home. You remember that little boy that you took to the doctor to get that carbuncle lanced. It was from staph infection because these children have no soaps, they have no toothpaste, they have no hygiene, they have no toothbrushes. And the doctor lanced it, you paid the bill, he sewed it back and he drained it, and of course he put it on 2 weeks of antibiotics, and 2 months later, you remember, 2 growths came back out in the place, same place. And a year later, you had that child taken to eyes, ears, and nose and throat specialists because through x-rays, that physician has proved that a staph infection bore through his molar barrier, bore through his jawbone, and bleeding pus out the side of his face. Once again, in your mind, you think, how much time do I have to? Now, you remember while you were there in the village, this 3-year-old child walked up to you because you pulled from your suitcase those children's books that your children used to have, and you sat the child in your lap, and the first time in that child's life, that child got a chance to hold children's books, and you read to that child because that child wants to learn to read. But the next day, you wonder where the child was. The child got sick from drinking water from the tap. This is a normal, everyday life that we're trying to help with children in destitute situations. Now, I brought with me 2 books that we are so glad that our Director, Secretary James Logue is doing such a wonderful job coordinating, getting these books, instead of throwing them away, getting them to Children's Compassion Association International so that we can ship these books to children. And on July 8th and July 22nd, we'll be at Walmart Keomoku, and we'll be doing a fund drive for feeding hungry children, and also a presentation with brochures and things like that. So you can bring not only your loose change, and you don't have to count it, all those loose pennies, put them in a plastic bag, bring it, whatever loose change that you have, your dollar bill, because we want to feed hungry children, and we're going to do our best to try to fill a 5-gallon bucket. Now, the Sundays and Mondays that we're not having these presentations at these different businesses, what we will be doing is that we'll be having group presentations at different places, like a small group presentation, like at a Starbucks near you. Please bring a dollar bill to feed children to share, and also bring your ideas and bring your suggestions, because there's so many of you that are asking, how can I get involved? And one of the best things for you to learn how to help children in destitute conditions is to be involved, and we thank you for that. Now, please send us a text at 808-224-0841, or send an email to mahealani4th@gmail.com. That's MAHEALANI 4th@gmail.com. Or you can find us information on our website, ccai.info, and we welcome your input and your suggestions, your ideas. Now, I have one last thing at the close of this presentation. If you get to go to Manila in the Philippines, please visit this memorial. It is a huge memorial with thousands of crosses, huge plaques, and things that our men and women have done to free our world. And they not only did acts whereby of freedom, but they had compassion for families and children that were suffering. They shared their own food. Our message to you, America, is don't wait for these hungry children and these families in this destitute situation to come to you with low-cost items and things that we don't need. We have proven it is making a huge difference to children in destitute situations. For many bare feet, we have put shared shoes. For many that didn't have clothes, we gave clothes. For many that don't have food, we're feeding and giving hygiene items. And let me tell you, even in the schools that we visit, they are so glad to have the books that we are sharing, dictionaries and things that we are sharing to make their lives a little better, because the human brain can overcome these destitute conditions. We just have to give it a chance. Thank you for giving these children the opportunity, and thank you for thinking with Children's Compassion Association to make their future a better future and a better day. Have a great day, and thank you for your time.